Welcome to Women Leading the Way radio show, where each time you'll hear from successful women CEOs, executives, and professionals, where we'll discover how they do what they do to be successful in business. But, you know, if you had to do things over, Lynn, it's like, what would be maybe two things that you would do differently, you know, for you and Susan starting up that you maybe didn't think of when you first started? For any of our, you know, newer entrepreneurs or business owners that are listening, what would you do differently?
We would have hired the experts we needed right off the bat instead of trying to do some things ourselves. For instance, we did not have a website for the first year because, for starters, we were busy right when we opened for a while. So we kind of put it on the back burner because we'd rather work for paying clients than, you know, develop our own marketing materials. And then when we finally did have a little bit of a breather and really needed our website for networking and marketing initiatives of our own, we thought, well, you know, we're marketing, we can write our own website copy. Well, 3 months later, we realized, you know, we would never allow a client to write their own website copy. What were we thinking? So hire the branding expert, hire the website designer, hire the marketing copywriter, you know, spend the money and hire the experts that you need, because they will help you get your business kicked off more quickly and build your revenue stream in a fraction of the time than if you tried to save a little bit of money and do it all yourself and take longer.
No, I love that advice, and I'm kind of curious. It's like when you and Susan have gone through the process, because I've heard from other business owners who say, oh, my gosh, you know, I have all these quotes and proposals. It's like, what advice would you give other women business professionals if they own a business? How do you evaluate the different, you know, proposals and quotes and whatnot? Because it's not all on price. At least that's not how I shop. So I'm curious, how would you recommend people look through that? You know, when you have all these different options, what do you look for, and how would that be advice to some of our listeners?
Well, one of the products that we provide to our customers is ongoing marketing management. So, for instance, if a client, you know, we determined that, okay, the next step in the marketing plan is develop a website. So we would do a request for proposal to anywhere from 3 to 8 max, probably, website design companies, and included in that would be the marketing plan and a strategy for the website, what we needed that website to do for that particular client, and really any information we could provide. And then with a set list of questions that we want to make sure they answer for us in the proposal. And then gathering all that information and laying it out in a spreadsheet so you can do, you know, the analysis of each different proposal. Now, as you alluded to, a big piece of that, and not just for women-owned companies, but a big piece of that is fit. Which one of those vendors is going to be a good fit with that C-suite, with that management team, with that sales department? So I think the personal component is huge, because all else being, you know, relatively equal, it comes down to who do you want to work with for the next, you know, 3 to 6 months on getting your programs up and running. And why would you work with someone that's, you know, grumpy and kind of staid when you can work with someone that's fun and energetic? So I think that is huge.
I do too, and it's like I always, you know, again, just hearing so many times where people say, man, it's like, you know, when we chose a vendor, it's like, you know, sometimes price is not the only evaluation. So it's really good to hear that you kind of go through those steps and that process, because I think there is a lot to be said for just who do you feel you click with and have a good connection with, and that may not be the low price leader. It may be somebody that, you know, you just have a great relationship with. And I will say, personally on my side, that's been huge for the vendors I've worked with. If I don't have synergy with them, I just know it's going to be set up to fail. So great advice.